like your music, don't it?
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter N. They don't let you through the door, better kick it again. Cause that's the only way to win. That's the only way to go. Gotta get it out the mud, gotta get it out the flow. Cause that's the only way to go, let's go.
Shooting, lights out.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed Easter Sunday yesterday. Hope you enjoyed Easter weekend. Hope you enjoyed the national championship game that UCLA put on display, because today is a jam-packed episode. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how I'm gonna go. I don't even know how we're gonna get through all this. This is way too much to get to.
I'm beginning to dislike some people.
Well, how do you spread the one to it? That one. So I get your point.
Yeah.
But welcome to Shooting Lights Out on this Monday, April 6th, 2026.
That's right. We in April. I'm sorry, my bad.
Your boys are in the building. Mr. Cole Johnson, who is for a second week in a row frying the flame torch again. This time, Houston, you don't have a problem.
You sure don't this time.
The playmaker said, darn that sounds, I got to be here. I got to do what I got to do. A lot of stuff to get into today. But, Mr. Johnson, how was your Easter weekend, sir?
Man. Well, of course, anytime we get to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, it's a wonderful thing. So just on that alone, awesome. But other than one other scenario that's developing, the best part of my day was when, and during Easter dinner, my father in front of my mother looks at me and he says, "You know what, man? As a man, I respect you." And I'm like, now here's an 89-year-old man saying this to me. It gets no better than that. So I'm flying higher than the friendly skies right now. And if it weren't for a sucker that's supposed to be an icon in basketball, I would be beaming and eyes bright and wide smile. In my heart, I still am. But somebody pissed me off.
Nowadays, it don't take much to do that to you nowadays.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, I got to keep it a buck.
Well, okay. Well, also, what made my weekend exciting and beautiful, I came in second in the women's bracket, and I won the men's bracket. Yeah, baby. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wow. That's how you gonna do me. That's how you gonna do your boy. Wow.
The man didn't even pick the national championship right.
Did you?
Everybody know I didn't. We had a full gone blazing trail of what my own wrong.
You acted like you need to have a therapist on the show. So don't even talk.
I didn't even ask you to try all that, but you wouldn't listen to me. I'm trying to help. You can't help me, all right? But you stop.
You were the doggone therapist on the show. No. What I did is the worst show. It's the worst show I've ever done. I'm like, sucker.
No. What you don't want to acknowledge.
What do I not want to acknowledge?
It's the fact that I showed up knowing what type of show I was going to be dealing with and put it on full display for everybody.
I know, but I wanted to help you out, but you acted as though
you couldn't help me.
You acted so you wanted to jump off a bridge. I'm like, come on, man.
You couldn't help me until then you finally figured it out when the heat check popped up. And that's when it clicked in your head. Oh yeah, really is a bad show for him.
I mean, you had to put that bush. I mean, the wonderful beautiful bean footage of the Lakers having a win streak.
And what made it worse, all of us got a part of it. Let's look at the games like, well, yeah, all of us got some of it. What the heck? Couldn't none of us do the job right? On top of my Gators not getting out of the first weekend, all in the same weekend. It's just like, what? So you had a taste of what I had to go through last week.
Really?
You had a small taste. You didn't even get the full taste because my suffering was almost through the whole freaking show.
I know, but you was like,
with you last week. We got to open up. It's the comments coming back.
Well, I mean, that was beautiful, and it is justice. It is WNBA justice finally prevailing. But I mean, you were sullen. It was heartbreaking to see you this way. I wanted to be a compassionate friend. Okay. Because you had this I'm slipping a Hamas news on my neck look on your face. I wanted to boost you up.
You know what? Before we even got to the show yet, actually. But let me put this in a way that Coach Jones can understand what I was going through 2 weeks ago. Mr. Johnson, imagine the Texas Longhorns, which probably never happened according to you, coming off a championship season, right? You feeling good? You're like, okay, we can go back to back. We got basically the same team coming back. We got a few different pieces, but basically got the same team coming back. All right, I feel good about the season, right?
Okay.
You feel good. You get into the playoffs, right? You're in the playoffs, and you get knocked out in the quarterfinals. Don't care. Don't even matter about who. The defending champ get knocked out in the quarterfinals. You can't even make it to the semifinals and the championship game to run it back. Quarterfinals, you're done. Okay, you got that. That's the college aspect of it, right?
Okay.
The professional aspect. Go to the professional aspect because we doing the football show, right? And then the same weekend, going to the show, the Tennessee Titans are 10-0. And you got to cover all that in the same show.
That's a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I'll still be professional, but that's.
Was I not being professional 2 weeks ago?
Oh, you were, but you were being a funny professional. I mean, I was like, buddy, is there something wrong? How can I help you? You can't help me. I'm like, wow, such hostility.
And I kept telling him, man, he don't know what's on the show. And yeah, he still insisted. Like, you do not know what's going to come up. Would you stop? And then he saw the heat check and he realized, yeah, there's really nothing I can do because I hate this too.
Yeah, because who wants the Lakers to succeed other than bandwagoners?
So, yes, this man right here got a small taste last week when he had to do both. At least he got to do both of his at the same time.
Cougars and the Rockets. Up.
You got to do both of his at the same time. I had to start out with the Florida Gators, then my bracket, and then had to go to the goddamn Lakers.
Astros. It's a shame that you're allowing a AAA team to get 12 runs on you in a game.
And then he brings up
at 11 runs another night. Tight that pitching up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Why you had to bring up baseball? Like, really?
Because I'm that pissed. I'm that pissed at Houston sports. That absolutely pissed.
All right, now that we are like 10 minutes into the show. You want to tell the people when they listen to us, like, man, jeez.
You can listen to us on Spotify Network, Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Apple Podcasts, on Amazon Prime, and all other apparatus where you can download this wonderful show and beautiful bean footage. You also can watch us on the LinkedIn Playmakers Network LinkedIn channel. You can also watch us on the Playmakers Network YouTube channel. And you can hear us live on the Real Wives Radio Network.
You can stop that one right there.
Okay, I'm sorry. You can hear us live on the Real Wives Radio Network because my best friend, my ace, is sticking his foot in his. I'm sorry, my bad. No. Seriously, my ace is having some one. my ace is actually having some wonderful news that's happening to him, and also he's having to deal with some personal stuff too. So, all joking aside, man, prayers out to you, homie. I hope that things go better for you and your family, and congratulations on the new things that are of developing, man. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I know I'm going to actually benefit in some of your glow up, bro. So I'm happy for you, and my condolences to you, my man. But yes, we normally would be live on the Real Wives Radio Network.
Keyword normally.
Yes.
But we're not, so. All right, now that we got that out the way, we got to start off the show as we usually do, sir. So, what would that be?
Let's see. It would be. Let me see. It would be 50-foot threes. No. Let me see. Let me see. It would be 250-point games. No. I'm sorry.
250-point games. Good grace.
Yes. You know, defense is optional in the NBA. We're going to take you around the hardwood. Hey! Oh, the music's on. Okay.
The music thing going. What you doing? Pay attention.
Up first, I can't believe that we're going to cover this.
Yep.
But we are anyway.
Yep.
So if your screen turns orange, don't blame us. The president of these United States, Donald Trump, and he's sinking the economy. He's putting us in wars, bypassing the Congress to actually put us in them, and making gas prices skyrocket so high you would think breasts are being uplifted for every woman in the land. He found enough time to sign an executive order this past Friday designed to limit how long athletes can play college sports and how often they can transfer between schools. Now, stop me if you've heard all of what I'm about to say before. The order directs the NCAA to create rules that mandate college athletes that can play for, quote, no more than a 5-year period, close quote, and allows them to transfer schools only once before they graduate without having to sit out a season. The rule changes are scheduled to go into effect this August. A school that plays an athlete who doesn't meet these new limits could risk losing its federal funding. The order also states the NCAA could update its rules to create a national registry for player agents and create policies that prevent schools from cutting scholarships or other opportunities for women's and Olympic sports in order to pay their athletes. Now, the White House said in a news release about said order, quote, college sports cannot function without clear, agreed upon rules concerning pay for play and player eligibility that can't be endlessly challenged in court, as is the case now. Close quote. Multiple lawyers who work with colleges and their athletes told ESPN they believe that the judges would rule out the president's order to be unconstitutional and unenforceable if challenged in court. NCAA president and absolute dummy Charlie Baker. Yeah, I said it. Charlie Baker, absolute dummy.
Before you continue on, you got to give a special shout out. I got you.
All right.
Special shout out because guess who's in the building?
All right. Here's a special shout out to our brother from the Sunshine State, A Pizzle. A Pistol 90. He says, playmaker. Dolphins fan extraordinaire. How you doing? What's up, baby? Cole, what's up? What's up, A Pizzle?
And he gave you a round of applause.
And
he gave you a round of applause for your minor achievement.
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you.
And before you continue on,
appreciate that love, my man. As always.
I'm gonna make Cole Johnson's day a little more better. You ready for this?
We already did with A Pistol.
Well, he's gonna get even better because guess who's joining the program?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
my brother. My brother. Cool in the house. Oh, yeah.
What's going on?
Oh, man. It's, the day is exponentially better now that you stepped on the scene. That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate that.
Told you.
You should told me you're gonna have Cool come onto the set, bro.
Nah, I wanted to say that.
You know how you be doing. You know how you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell him everything. You know he the EP of all EPs. Can't tell him everything.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a great show now.
That's like
especially with a topic that I know I want him to cook on. Oh, this is gonna be a beautiful show now. Yes. Ooh.
Do you have any more important things to read in our article? Because I kind of do just want to go ahead and just get to the whole point of this. Because
okay, let me see. Okay, your thoughts on it? No, I'm just gonna read it, button up the article, and go on to the next one. Your thoughts, sir?
What have me and Cole Johnson been saying on another show that we do together? What have we been saying?
Clowns can't enforce crap, and they need the government to help them out. I'm like, this is so funny that it's all
and as much as I mess with Orange Man so goddamn much, he basically did what me and Cole Johnson said to do. But the problem is, how did you open everything up, Cole Johnson, when you got to this article? How did you open it up? Oh, everything else he's doing.
Yeah. I mean, sinking the economy, having gas prices skyrocket faster than women having breast lifts, and putting us in wars that he's bypassing the Congress to actually put us in. Yeah.
So here's the thing. He's doing all this correctly. He actually did. He actually is doing what me and Cole has been saying to do with the NCAA, but they can't force their own rules, by the way. It's the most stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. Thank you, Nick Saban. But you know what the problem is? You know why this is not being well received? Dare I do a little teaser for another show I'll be doing later on today? It's the right message, but the wrong messenger.
Oh Lord.
And you will be talking about both of those messages. I may decide to give some comments on those, but
I mean, people want college sports to be fixed. The people that run the college sports can't force it, so they went to the government, and the government is actually the ones with a brain for once, and nobody's receiving it. So what are we doing?
well, here's what you have to understand, Mr. Solomons and Mr. Johnson, as well as listening audience or viewing
yes,
audience.
Yes, sir, Mr. McCain.
As well. What you have to understand is simply this. You have allowed kids to get paid. You've allowed grown men to play with 17 to 18-year-olds. They know they can't make it to the next level. So why would they want to give that up? Why would they? It's the only thing they have. Right? We talk about in the radio all the time, sports radio, different stuff, how there's nothing to manage these agents. So these kids have agents, but they take whatever percentage they want. Right? They don't have the same level of protection like a professional contract. So with them to now only be able to be in college for 5 years, only be able to transfer one time. Okay. Serious question. And I'm going to use something else we're going to talk about later. let's say I just have this burning desire to play for a former NBA coach, right? And a certain team hires a former NBA championship coach. He goes there, stays 2 or 3 years, does really well. The NBA calls and says, "Hey, Mike, so you want to slide back through? You want to run it back?" And he leaves. Those kids, let's say some of them use the transfer portal to come play for him. So now they're stuck at that school due to Congress, which is the biggest band of assholes I know, um, passing a law that says they can only transfer one time. How is that fair to the kid? That's not. But that's the situation we want to put the kids in so that we can stop those few who are 27, 28 still playing. But here's the thing that I say, even those that are older are playing. If you're so athletically inferior, that you have to go out and try to do your thing against 17 to 21-year-olds, you're probably no better than them anyway. You're just older. Because if you had the talent, you would move to the next level. What I said all along, a little bit different. I think everybody should get the first transfer, no problem. But then depending on your situation, you should be allowed another transfer. You have family situations, real family situations, not my auntie that I met one time in my life got gout, so I need to move home. But a serious family situation that you need to move back home, like a parent, a sibling, or a close relative might be in hospice or something. You want to be there for their last days. A parent's seriously injured, something like that. A coach leaves. I believe if a coach leaves a team, every player on that team should have a window to transfer. Because if you're going to allow that coach to leave, then it's not fair to tie those players to that organization. Of course, it's extreme circumstances. And then if the coach leaves, those are examples that need to be automatically included and said from jump. Because if it's not, then we're getting a bunch of paper pushers that know nothing about sports and what happens in the life of everyday people. And for that, you should be flogged and thrown out and become vagabonds.
Flogged.
I mean, no matter what, somebody gonna find a loophole in whatever and use it to their advantage.
I'm just saying there should be certain things you don't even need a loophole for. Like it should be there. If you're gonna come up with your Congress-led rule, then you need to make sure that makes as much sense as possible to help these students who always are the ones that are put in the bad place. You know what I'm saying? No matter if you're getting paid $5 million a year, if you came to play for a certain coach in a certain system in whatever sport, and that coach leaves, you should be able to leave too. Either follow that coach or go somewhere else where they play a system that you can thrive in. And that shouldn't require anything besides I'm out. Just saying. But in a normal situation where a guy just wants to transfer because he's not happy he's not starting, or the coach has been a little hard on him, stuff like that, sit your $4 hind pots down before we make change.
Like, that's pretty much the reason why they put that in that purpose, right?
I know. I'm just saying.
So you get 1 year to transfer without sitting out. But if you transfer again, it's back to the old rules when you got to sit out a year. When you get one free transfer.
Depending on the situation, I usually get more than one. But those situations need to, again, be lined out so that we're not dealing with gray area. Anything besides those, I'm not even going to say you got to wait a year. You don't get to transfer. You don't get to transfer because your feelings are hurt. And you're feeling like a man with sensitivity.
I think that's a lot of people these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnson, you got anything you want to add before we move on to the other article?
Well, actually, I mean, the beautiful part about having wonderful colleagues and friends like the two of these brothers here, they basically said exactly all that I was thinking, and then some. But I will I will conclude this article this way. So the president's executive order does not address employment or other major unresolved issues in college sports, such as a push from certain places to reshape how schools share revenue from their television contracts, for an example. But it further stamps home what we heard from Nick Saban in the Rose Bowl 3 months ago. Oh, boy. Well,
Before you continue on, Snowman's checking in.
Snowman Multimedia, he says, hey, Snowman checking in. So sorry that your Wildcats decided to get handled by the Wolverines in the national semifinal, but congratulate them because I can't remember the Wildcats going this far in a good while. If I'm not mistaken, like 25 years? So yeah, congrats to your Wildcats. I'm glad that they went that far. Good season for you, and possibly making the Big 12 looking really good. All right, so we're staying in college, but we're focusing on. I still can't believe I'm about to say. The NCAA, they want and they expect to finalize an expansion of both the men's and women's tournaments from 68 teams to 76. So obviously the success of having the play-in games before we get to the first round must be so.
Well, now when they finalize it, will become the actual first round.
That's what I was going to get to. That
Yes,
it must be so favorable that now they're going to actually make it a round of its own. So I guess it's like I'm trying to think. It's like what we heard from what was it, Marlon and Shawn Wayans. More money, more money, more money. Oh,
yeah. Lord. I have the Yahoo article right in front of me, so
go ahead.
The NCAA is looking to expand March Madness, and a decision is coming soon. NCAA leadership and members of the association basketball committees are expected to finalize an expansion of the men's and women's basketball tournament to 76, as reported by Yahoo Sports' Ross Dilliner. If this comes to fruition, 8 games will be added to the current first 4 played on Tuesday and Wednesday before the original first round. The new opening round will feature 24 teams playing in 12 games over Tuesday and Wednesday at 2 host sites. The winners will then join the other 52 teams. The NCAA has looked to expanding March Madness bracket for several years. This would drastically change the format of the NCAA men's and women's basketball tournament over the first 2 days. In this scenario, the original round of 64 will stay. The path to making it will be just different.
More money, more money, more money.
Should I keep going, or do y'all two want to go ahead and say y'all piece?
Cool. You go, bro.
All right, so I've alluded to the fact that something like this needs to happen. I came up with my own idea. I think that this needs to happen, and I think those playing should never. Let me repeat. I mean, ever include any conference champion. So, if I were redoing March Madness, and I think smarter than the people who actually do it. If I was redoing March Madness, say all conference championship winners, mid-major, big conferences, I do not care. You would be placed in between 8 and 12 seeds. So no conference champion should be under a 12 seed. You might say, oh, blah, 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 whatever you want to add there. Let me explain why I think this makes sense. I'll be quick. If you're an 8 to 12 seed and you're a mid-major, you're not playing a number 1 seed, number 2 seed, number 3 seed. You're playing that are more than likely within the same realm of talent as you. We see a lot of these blowouts early because these mid-major schools and in the smaller schools as well, they don't get love. They go through a grueling season, they win their conference championship, and then they get plugged in playing. They get plugged in a 15-17 against a 1, 2, or 3 seed. So let's make it where we actually have a chance to advance. All these teams are in the 8-12 now. Y'all going to slide down to 13-16. Y'all playing the playing games because you didn't win your conferences. You can talk if they were in that club. They're not in that conference. I don't want to hear any of that bull crap anymore. I want people to play for their way in if you didn't win no conference. I want you to have a fair shot to at least win your first round game if you did win a conference. And after that, all bets are off. It depends on who wins. We know how the tournament plays out. But this extra game, us last 4 in, last 4 out type thing. So now I would keep the last 4 in or last 8 in, last 8 out like it is. And the last 8 out, theoretically, we change the name of it from last 8 out melts. But I would have those guys play each other in those playing games. So since you sucked and they sucked a little bit more, y'all play, and then whoever's game, then you actually get around to 64. So I embrace a little expansion. I just didn't want to go too far. 80, 76, I don't have a problem with. It is more money, but you can just throw those games on the same day that the other games are on, and it can just be like the second round on the first day.
To what Koo was just saying, the expansion will give the NCAA more games over the first 2 days instead of the traditional 4 matchups. There will be a full day of games on Tuesday through Sunday. So you're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Mr. Johnson.
More money, more money, more money. I mean, the NCAA for the first week, they basically ruled Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for God knows how long. They tested the waters by having a play-in game, loved it, and decided to have 2 of them. And now they loved it so much, they want to expand the tournament further. Is it a good thing? Yeah, but I agree with Cool. I mean, I think you got to have provisions. You can't have conference champions be in it. And you got to be intelligent enough to put the right teams in these games, because we basically want to see competitive games more than having a Goliath beat down a David. Because if that happens, this round would absolutely royally suck. But if they do it right, this actually might be a good teaser to how the tournament actually opens up when you get to the real meat of it starting that Thursday. But make no mistake, it is more money, more money, more money for the NCAA.
Basically what they're saying, NCAA, if y'all do go forward with this, we don't need no more Wiley Coyotes trying to chase a road runner, because you already know how that ends. And I do believe you're still sticking in the NCAA because, yeah.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. A wonderful coach from the women's ranks, Virginia's head coach, Amaka Agugua-Hamilton, unfortunately now is former. She has been fired from the women's program in Charlottesville this past Saturday. Now, Agugua-Hamilton led the Cavaliers to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 26 years. Yes, you heard me correct. She led this team to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2000. Now, she went 70-58, including a 29-42 mark in ACC play. However, Virginia became the first double-digit seed to reach the regional semifinals since 2022, and it pulled off the upset of the tournament, knocking out number 2 seed Iowa on the road to double overtime in the second round. It became the first Final Four team to advance this far since before falling to TCU. Now, Agugua-Hamilton had this to say about that loss. Quote, "Although we had some really good moments in that game, but the third quarter got away from us. We came up short, but that doesn't take away from our season or the growth that we've had with our program." Close quote. South Carolina head coach Dawn Staley, the female head coach, Dawn Staley, who starred at Virginia as a player, said that she just heard the news about the coaching change, saying, quote, "I did reach out to the athletic director of Virginia, and she just told me that they did part ways. I don't know why. We'll talk. I did reach out to Coach Mox to check on her. I didn't have time to have a conversation with her. I don't know what went wrong. She had them on the right track." Close quote. And before I kick it off to you guys, Coach Staley, run on, sister. Okay. Cool, your thoughts.
Before Cool go, let me go, because another news came out. According to this news, their star player Kamari Johnson, she's in the transfer portal because y'all fired her.
Oops.
Now you lost your star player. She said, "Oh, that's what y'all gonna do? I'm leaving." Which now is making people to investigate on why did they fire Hamilton.
Well, sir, lucky for you.
I'll
Sources.
before you go. My only rationale could be, and I don't even believe this would be 10% of it, is her ACC record. Because there's no way you can tell me
with her performance on the court.
I'm finna say, because there's nothing you can tell me that you just made a Sweet 16 in 26 years. You made a Sweet 16 for the first time in 26 years, and then you fired a coach.
Mm-hmm.
There was a internal investigation that had been launched on some complaints on Agugua-Hamilton. And after the university concluded and presented the findings, she was let go. So it had nothing to do with her as a coach on the court. This had to do with some other things that were happening. They're not going to release exactly what it is, but basically there was an internal investigation after some complaints were raised. And once they did an investigation, so I understand players act how they act and they get mad and leave. But you have to understand this. A coach has a certain level of decorum that they're supposed to always have. And certain things they're not supposed to do. If you violate those things, unless you're Giamma or John Shire, you normally don't stay where you're.
If that's the case, and if Kumakan is correct, why didn't Virginia just go ahead and make a statement?
Well, North Carolina took for Lord knows how long to hire a dude that was out there the whole time.
Because I'm just saying, as of right now, Virginia, you're looking real crazy right about now.
Well, sir, if I've heard this from reliable sources, and I'm not the only one, come out for everyone as of yet. But see, I have to understand, you've had several major things happen. When you get rid of a coach, you normally have a press conference in a couple of days. When you hire a coach, you normally have a press conference in a couple of days. So the nation happened today. So we're not going to get a statement from Virginia today. North Carolina hired Mike Malone today. We're not going to get a statement from North Carolina today. That's not how it ever works. But there will be a statement put out here in the next couple of days. And then what I've been told from my reliable sources, and I also had it confirmed, it should come out. Much of it or how they're going to word it, but it had nothing to do with her as bad as a coach.
I'm gonna be looking forward to that.
Well, let me
statement,
rephrase that.
Virginia.
The basketball side.
I'm gonna look forward to that statement because I need some light shed on this.
I'm going to get so much light
I said so.
because it's how it goes. Yeah, they're not going to. They're not going to try to downcast her and make her look in a bad light. They just don't want her there because of what she did. And plus, you know they're going to try to go down Staley, so they can't save it so much because they don't want to tick John off and make her feel like I want to come back. I don't believe she would leave South Carolina, but I believe
That's if she wants
Virginia
to leave
would be
South
the
Carolina.
closest.
I don't think so. I don't think she wants to leave there either.
I think Virginia, she might leave for though, if there's anywhere.
I agree with that. But I'm thinking the way the way the program's rolling now, I can't see her leaving yet.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, she basically is South Carolina.
Yeah, but I agree with you too, Cool. If there's one place where she will leave Columbia, South Carolina for, it would be to go back to her alma mater. I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Even more so than representing anything in Philly like Temple or Villanova.
Them Philly roots.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
For Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Virginia's her home for her too. She went to college there.
And to close out around the Hollywood, Mr. McCain, you brought up the news earlier, so because I hadn't had the right for the show, if you would like to take it away.
Yes, sir.
Oh, coach that you know very well.
Multiple reports have reported that Mike Malone, I'm done with the Michael Malone crap, Mike Malone is going to be hired as the new head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels. So what I will say to this is very simple. Are you people surprised? And if you say you are, you people pay no attention to what's going on. You've heard one playmaker among several people yelling Chapel Bill and Bill Belichick and all that. Right?
I cannot escape
so
that.
Clearly the
AD life now.
At North the AD in North Carolina has I guess the best way I can say is he gets his jollies from hiring ex-professional sport coaches that have won championships, that have championship pedigree. He struck again with one Mike Malone. People are talking about Billy Donovan and guys from other college programs. And I'm sitting there like, whoever's going to be the coach of this team is going to come for the pro level somehow, whether he's an assistant at the pro level or whether he's an ex-head coach. And I had pinpointed Mike Malone, unfortunately, as a guy that would be there and be part of the conversation and probably end up where he's at right now. Now, I will say honest things about Mike Malone. Mike Malone has about a little bit more of a clue than Hubert Davis about how to use your bench. So hopefully that's something he's worked on developing and seeing other people not do and do it since he's been in the booth, then maybe he'll change. He's a very emotional coach, so I like the fact that he'll bring some fire. You know, it might get old after a few years, but the good thing is in college, you've got no more than 4 years, well, no more than 5 years now. They have to be gone, so you know maybe the message won't get old. As a fan of the Denver Nuggets and the UNC men's basketball, I feel like deja vu. Having him come in to be coached, but I hope he's developed and learned, and just turn it around on some of his thought process because he did some things right. We can go back and people can say whatever, but you don't win a championship if you don't do some things right. Right? He didn't fall into a championship. He fell out of a couple of other ones, I feel like, but he didn't fall into a championship. So I think on the surface, it's a good hire. Based on what they do at Carolina now, this was going to be the hire. There wasn't another former NBA coach with a championship, at least one championship, that was unemployed, looking for a job. So, again, based on what they want to do, this makes sense. And that's all I got to say about that.
Mike Malone.
Well, all you Chapel
was
Hill guys,
formerly
I ain't forgot about you.
Mike Malone, formerly of the Nuggets, a world champion Nuggets when he was the head coach there, finding his way to Chapel Hill. That is awesome. Congratulations to Malone. Maybe he might restore the luster that is the Tar Heel way. We know that Hubert Davis was not. Oh, well.
Ever going to do it. Hubert Davis is a great person. I respect the heck out of the person. The head basketball coach of Tar Heels, it needed to be replaced.
It was too big of a role for him. It's unfortunate. It is. But yes, shout out to Mike Malone. He might have a national championship along with along with an NBA championship to actually hoist along with.
I wouldn't be mad.
And of course, he comes from a good sturdy coaching tree because his father Brendan was one of the assistants during the bad boy days of the Pistons in the late '80s. So, dude knows what he's talking about.
He also coached with one Greg Popovich coach on his staff.
That's right. So yeah, he knows what a championship basketball team looks like for sure. And that concludes this edition of Around the Hardwood.
Oh, just so you know, that is the actual template for the Playmakers Network if we break any news going forward.
I likes a lot.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kermit the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Yeah, I switched the order of the commercials. Why? Because guess who will be appearing on the credentials required this week?
Cool. It's not me. Who could it be?
The Playmaker.
Good.
The Playmaker will be on No Credentials Required this week. I'm looking forward to joining the program for the second time, talking to Ryan and Dustin.
Yeah, I think they'll enjoy your basketball takes. and probably want to.
Actually, we ain't talking basketball. I'm part of the. They want me as a guest for the movie ticket, so we get to talk about a movie.
The playmaker branching out. Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. And it was a great movie choice, but in what they did too. So I'm looking forward to talking about that movie that they chose. Mm-hmm. I watched it twice.
All right.
And the funny thing is in the realms of another show later on today, so it makes it even more fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask, considering that you're a fan of the Rams, and Mr. Henry's a fan of the defending world champs.
No, we ain't talking football. This is in the wrestling.
How would that be?
This in the I already gave doesn't his fellows. I did that right after the Super Bowl. I ain't a salty person like most people. I know how to say congratulations.
I know how to say congratulations, but I mean I ain't salty.
No.
I wasn't referring to you. I was saying in general.
I was just giving an example. Some people can be salty and still say, congratulations.
Yeah.
Some people, they can't do it. It's
like they're glorious, magnanimous team that beat on the Dookies.
Why are you calling them Dookies? Oh Lord!
You say
like they drop blue crap, like they drop blue crap from their butt,
mouth, everything. You trample the demon underfoot.
Let's run.
The Lord will bless
Let's
you.
run the fast break.
That this guy is shown. Let me shut up. James off the steal. James with the stop.
Rebound by Adams, his sixth. Morant blows by Primo. Attack.
As we run a fast break and Coach Johnson try to get himself together, let's go to what part of who McCain was referring to. The Final Four, the men's Final Four in Indianapolis, Indiana. On one side, you had UConn going against Illinois, and on the other side, you had Arizona going against Michigan. And in the first game, Mr. Johnson, the Huskies was able to keep the Fighting Illini at bay for most of the game.
Yeah, it looks like the Huskies decided they were going to execute, and the taller, more physical Illini just didn't have it for the game. And more power to Illini getting as far as they did, but you're dealing with a pedigreed squad with UConn and definitely with Dan Hurley.
Tyrus Reed Jr., 17 points, 11 boards. Brylan Mullins, the guy who hit the game winner over Duke to get to the Final Four. 15 points, 3 boards, 2 steals. As the UConn Huskies are in the next championship game for the third time in 4 years. We'll talk more about UConn later on in the show. But that was one of 2 Final Four games. The other Final Four game in Indianapolis, Cool McCain, it was not a contest whatsoever. Surprisingly, the other way in most people's eyes. As Michigan dominated Arizona. $91-73.
I think people weren't giving Michigan enough credit. You really feel like they didn't have a good chance to win. I think you were being respectful. And Being out there like they've been said, put some respect on our name. All three of y'all. Oh, and just to off subject, but not off subject. Reports are saying that Derek Dixon, the freshman UNC guard, is going to transfer. All I can say to him is, and don't you come back no more. Hit the road, Jack.
Oh. Wow.
I didn't expect to hear anything about North Carolina outside.
Mike
Malone, but
Mike Malone, when you get here, we can't be light skinned. So let some of the light skinned boys go and leave. Too much light skinned. You're gonna see. You gotta get rid of some of the light skinned. This.
Oh Lord! I don't know I'm gonna be any good the rest of this show.
yeah, because it took the flavor off the Final Four and just went straight to North Carolina news.
Hey, I'm just saying. When North Carolina says today is a game, we don't give a smurf. We gonna hire a new coach today. North Carolina is telling you hot urine all over the national championship game. Pay attention to us. So I am just following the journalistic trend for the day.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
crap on a former Tar Heel player, dumping mad dung on Duke. Oh my gosh. And basically saying Hubert Davis, wonderful human being, bad coach.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And Hubert Davis' son, soft.
Wow.
Sherman soft. You got you roster spot on the basketball team, and you're gonna try to get salty. That's right, stole the spot. Because if you play anything like your dad coach, you didn't belong there either.
Mr. Johnson, Michigan sending a message through Arizona.
Well, I think they've been sending a message all throughout the tournament, but yes, definitely with Arizona. Basically, they're saying y'all definitely must have forgot about us because you all were talking about Duke, talking about Arizona. One of them clowns didn't make it to the Final Four. We clobbered the other, and they just took the game and the life away from it early. What else? Wolverines. Ade Mara, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. He was one of 5 Wolverines to notch double digits in scores. The Wildcats just didn't say.
This is what Michigan was listening to in the locker room.
I would never distract the team by trying to ad-lib, but I will agree.
Walk that trick.
With the
Walk that trick. Walk that trick. Walk that
Let's start off right here. Oh, Arizona? You was that trick. Sorry, y'all. I'm in a rare mood today. I can't help myself.
Yes, they were.
Now,
yes, they were. They were that trick.
So I already know the answer to this, but I'm asking anyway because I already answered this in my head. Shouldn't people put more respect on Dusty May's name?
They better.
So here's the thing about Dusty May. He's a very cunning individual. So all these Final Four coaches, they use the fact that UNC was looking for a head coach to get more money. I'm not mad at any of them. But see, I don't think there was really a lot of interest from North Carolina in these guys, more so than, hey, you want to come be North Carolina's head coach? Okay. I don't think there was a lot of real
No,
interest.
that's not what I was going with. I was going from the fact that he took Florida Atlantic to the Final Four, and people didn't think
I know where
he
he
could
was
do it
going.
again. And he's in Michigan,
I know where he was
and
now he's in the championship game with him.
Yeah, I know where he was going. I just want to go left real quick.
But
But kudos to him.
when do you not want to go left? That's the question.
But Cool actually does
When
make a
I'm
good point.
going right.
No, but Cool actually does make a good point. With coaches like that, like you said, that take a mid-major high, they want to test the major market to see the value of that person as a coach. And so they use the blue blood programs like Kentucky, like Duke, like Kansas, like North Carolina to test to see if there is interest in him or her. And how big of an interest is there? So considering that Cool is a Tar Heels fan, I could taste the saltiness and understand it. So I don't blame him
I don't
for
really
his
think
take.
there was.
I actually respect the take. But he basically,
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot
what
of.
Cool is saying is just the truth, really. So I get
Yeah.
that.
You use the opportunity to get yourself more. Those who didn't use it, that's what happens when you ride a short bus to school.
Before I continue on, one of our favorite brothers is in the chat.
Vila Gate 3, Victor Locke, or doggone it, Cool. What do I call him?
Oh, are you able to do it?
He says the three kings of the hardwood, codename Playmaker, the EP of Ow! EP's Cole Johnson, and Cool Breeze McCain.
I think Cool, you might be a week or two away from getting back to full form.
Frank Calhoun, the coolest cut at camp.
And that's the next championship game, which we'll talk about later on in the show. But speaking of the next championship game, to the women's Easter Sunday was the women's national championship game. South Carolina versus UCLA. UCLA trying to make schools history, and Don Staley, South Carolina, trying to restore the crown to Columbia. And Cool. Oof.
Do another WWE theme. Somebody gonna get the kick. Somebody gonna get the wig split.
UCLA from start to finish was not going to be denied. Gabriella Jaquez, if you're trying to figure out the last name, that's because that is Haim Jaquez's sister. 21 points,
Jaquez
10 rebounds, 5 assists. Yep. Oh, he is a joint. Lauren Brett's 14.11 boards, voted the most outstanding player in the Final Four. Gentlemen,
So I was
thoughts on
going to
the
say when
game?
Lauren Betts won outstanding player, she looked at Gary. I thought you were.
I was thinking that
Wow.
too. I'm like, I think Gabrielle should have got it, but they want to give it to the face of it.
Hey, Lauren thought Gabrielle should have it. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Johnson, UCLA castles their first women's basketball NCAA title.
We were seeing them boat race everybody in the Big Ten. That's when I had to sit up and take notice. I'm like, okay, I think this squad probably has what it takes to win it all. And if the breaks fall their way, they're going to do it. And the breaks did fall their way. And I think this is one that was well earned because they did struggle in this tournament to get here. And they played a sloppy national semifinals game against Texas. A sloppy game. But they showed grit. They buckled down on defense, and they took out the Lady Longhorns. And they were prepared for either team that was going to come out of that South Carolina UConn game. And wow, they took the Lady Gamecocks and said, nope, this is not your day. Ladies, you will bow to these queens today.
So, Cole, I'm going to stick with you on this one because this is a conversation that we have to have because we do love her. The three of us love her. There's a lot of people that love her. But she did make history in the wrong aspect, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. I think I can speak for all three of us when I say that we have a lot of love and a whole ton of respect for Dawn Staley, and you will hear how much respect we have for her a little later. But of course, this is news because in back-to-back national championship games, her team has lost by more than 20 points, and that has not happened in the women's nor the men's national championship. This is the first time in history that this has happened. Oh, Mr. Auriemma, last year, Miss Staley showed you how you supposed to lose. Unfortunately, what you have lost.
You just couldn't save it, could you? How you teased it and then go into it?
I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you what you have lost, Auriemma, a little later.
How you tease it and then just go into it? Like, come on, now.
It's just when I saw the game, when I saw the final score of last year's game, I just got pissed all over again.
Jeez, your time is coming. Jeez, hold on. Jeez.
So
Mr. McCain, our girl, she is suffered back-to-back blowouts.
Well, see, this is what I would say. We do realize we're missing multiple core team this year. This team didn't even gel until the SEC tournament. This is not a traditional South Carolina team. So, one person's not with the team. I don't want to say names and get the wrong name, wrong place. One person tore their ACL like before the season, and then somebody else got injured during the season. So when you're missing multiple major pieces, and you're able even to get back to the national championship game. So a lot of people want to talk about getting drugged and lost, but think about the job of coaching that Dawn Staley had to do to take this band of miscreants and push them to the national championship game. And we talk about, oh, she's the first coach that has 2 big bad losses. Okay. 20+ point losses. Okay. But you know why a lot of them didn't do it? Because they never got to but one national championship game in their career. So they couldn't lose more than 1 by 20 because they couldn't get back. I think Dawn Staley is going to be one of those people that is not going to be halfway near appreciated she should be until she hangs it up as a, and we don't have her anymore in the coaching ranks. And I think that's what it's going to take for her to be really appreciated. Because she's not now.
That's unfortunate.
And this coaching job in 2026, this has been her best coaching job, I would say, since I've seen her at South Carolina. Because she did so much, but they don't want to talk about that. Because it paints her in a positive light. And Lord forbid they do that to John Staley. That's all I got to say about that. People call me Forrest.
Mr. Johnson, you brought up a game in the Final Four, right? So UCLA last two games came up against the top two teams from the Southeastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
And for the SEC, it's been a struggle of scoring against the Bruins.
Mm-hmm. And of course,
Yo-
that continued in the Final Four. Yeah.
Your Longhorns can only put up 44 points, which is eye-popping to me. Like South Carolina can only put up 51. I can
South Carolina did better.
going a little deeper. Mr. Johnson, your Longhorns in the Final Four shot 31% from the field and 22% from three-point range. They held Madison Booker to 6 points, 3 for 23 shooting. Rory Harmon, 8 points for 11 shooting. That's the Final Four game. Against South Carolina, they held the Gamecocks to 29% shooting from the field, 13% from three. Joyce Edwards, 8 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Tanaya Latson, 4 points, 1 from 5 shooting, and Raven Johnson, 3 points, 1 for 7 shooting. Mr. Johnson, when you hear those numbers, what comes to mind?
What are the 3 words that you normally hear in any sport when it comes to a team that achieves its ultimate goal? Defense wins championships. UCLA has proven all throughout this season that they're about that work on the defensive end. They're about the Windex because they clean up the glass, and they're gonna make nights difficult for offenses. So we got a chance to see 2 of the 4 best teams in this year get stymied, probably by the best defense of the year, and the best defensive team of the year. And you have to give credit to the Lady Bruins and not just say, oh, well, the Lady Longhorns and Lady Gamecocks had an off night. Or in this case, the Lady Longhorns had an off night and the Lady Gamecocks were distracted by the BS that happened the game 2 days before. No. Let's put the flowers to the Lady Bruins direction. They get after you on the defensive end. And if you are willing to get after it on the defensive end, as proven in the national semifinal game against Texas, your offense could be absolute hot garbage. But if you make it more difficult for your opponent, you don't have to have the greatest of offenses to actually execute a dub. So congratulations to the Lady Bruins. They showed the defense does matter, and you need to get after it on that end to get that ring.
Anything you want to add, Mr. McKay?
Nope. I'm not going behind that.
So around 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the UCLA Bruins first women's NCAA championship in school history. Now they can finally hang a banner up with all the banners that the men got. And there's a lot of them.
There's a whole ton of them.
And Chloe Coates can finally scratch national champion off her list. She was the longest tenured coach at one school without a championship. No more.
There's no more. Yeah. That is no more as
At 15.
I was 15? Wow,
Long
I didn't know it was
suffering.
that long.
15
Wow.
long years.
Yeah, well deserved. Well deserved. Congratulations.
That this guy has shown. Let me shut up. James off the steal. James with the stop.
everything Boston. I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition.
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
All right, welcome back to Shooting the Lights On this Monday. Now we gonna jump to the professional ranks, but before we do that, gentlemen, we gotta have a conversation. Mr. McKinney, you don't know where I'm going at, but Coach Johnson, he knows where I'm going at. We gotta have a conversation. It's gotta be had.
Oh,
The Hall of Fame class of 2026 was announced during the men's Final Four. And Mr. Johnson, would you like to say the names that will be going into this Hall of Fame class?
all right. So among the players, it's Aleda Deladon, Candace Parker, Shamika Holtzclaw, which I have no issue with any of those three names. No, I have no issue with the players' names. So we get to the coaches and referees. You got Mike D'Antoni, Jory Crawford, Mark Few, and Doc Rivers.
Well, Jory Crawford's a referee, so.
Yes, Jory Crawford's a referee. The rest are coaches. And Doc Rivers is, of course, coach/player. Now, the special end of the D's would be the 1996 U.S. Women's Olympic team with Tara Van Dervener, the longtime head coach of Stanford's women's team. Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, Cheryl Swoops, Katrina McLean, Nikki McCraw, Teresa Edwards, Venus Lacey, and Dawn Staley. The name that don't belong on this list is Amari Stoudemire. I feel so much better.
Continue on, because we gotta have a conversation, because the question is, has the Hall of Fame starting to become, in any sport right about now, it's starting to become insignificant now?
Not all Hall of Fames, but this sport it is. Well, I hate to say it the way I'm about to say it now, but I've always felt this Hall of Fame has been insignificant for a long time, because this, unlike baseball's Hall of Fame, unlike the Pro Football Hall of Fame, unlike the NHL Hall of Fame, this awards everybody's full body of work, which means Olympics and what you did in the college ranks, along with the pros. What people, I think, fail to get and grasp is people think that this is an NBA Hall of Fame, and it's not. It's not. People that did well in the NBA, people that did well in the NCAA ranks, and people who did well in the Olympics, all of them get lumped in all together. And I always thought that made this Hall of Fame insignificant, but it's now being made more insignificant by players such as Amari Stoudemire and coaches like Mike D'Antoni, who were absolutely I'll say it, undeserving of the honor. Does that answer your question, sir?
Mr. McCain.
Yes, it does. Good.
Your thoughts?
Cole said everything I want to say, but I want to go a step further. About 5-10 years, a lot of guys that are retired, a lot of guys, a lot of coaches get inducted into the Hall of Fame. You walk into the Hall of Fame and you see Amari Stoudemire's bust, Mike D'Antoni's bust. I mean, You see Doc Rivers bust. I mean, Doc Rivers was a pretty good player. He done as a coach. We got to do a better job of laying out positive in your career. So, like, if you're a great college player, but you weren't a good NBA player, that needs to be taken into account and weighed when you want that Hall of Fame. If you continue to play after college and you're playing dramatically, maybe you're just in the Hall of Very Good without an ab. Maybe you're just in the Hall of Fame. Just so y'all know, Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. It just expand for everybody to get in. We don't have to do that.
All right. So Mike D'Antoni. Some can say he started the trajectory of the NBA becoming what it is today. High scoring type deal. Did that bring him a championship?
Mike D'Antoni?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike D'Antoni?
Mike D'Antoni's allergic. He's allergic to finals trips, but still has championships.
No, so we have no rings, we have no accolade. So we really don't have no accolades.
You know me that Mike D'Antoni basketball we play today.
I said started the way towards.
I have a huge bottle of baby powder. Right? Okay. Those people who believe that, I have a huge bottle of baby powder. And I have two hands. And I am ambidextrous. So I can pour baby powder in each hand and slap the snot out your mouth. Because they need to bring you back to reality. That's all I got to say.
One of the main reasons why Cole Johnson hates the NBA right about now, you can go back to Mike D'Antoni, who didn't care nothing about defense.
Defense optional. Hate that philosophy that he coached by. And
so many people
defense optional and chunk threes until you can't chunk anymore.
That's who Cole Johnson blames for this. That guy. And that guy's name is in the Hall of Fame.
I would say if you want to blame somebody, I'm fine with blame, but I won't give him any credit.
Amari Stoudemire, very good player. Under Mike D'Antoni, ironically.
Immediately.
Very good player. Did fairly good in New York in his down years. But do we have any major accolades under his name that we can think of?
Well, he gave Steve Nash 2 MVPs.
Oh, Steve Nash's name's on the trophies, not Amari Stoudemire, right?
Agree.
Okay. That's the whole thing we got.
The only thing I got, other than he frequented Shaq and the Fool every now and then when he was a member of the Knicks. Outside of that, I can't think of anything.
But how good was he in college? Did he do anything in college? You know,
that's no question. You're a college ball aficionado. You don't even remember doing that in college.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help the man validate his Hall of Fame status. I'm trying to help, but there's nothing I can do. I don't have nothing.
Of course you are.
I don't have nothing to talk about. So my question is, when I say help, I'm being very sarcastic. What did y'all do to get in the Hall of Fame? Might they try to revolutionize the game in a way that it is today, but it never brought him a championship because he was too busy getting beat by Kobe Bryant and Shaq and the Lakers.
You're too busy getting
And
beat
guess
by
what?
these.
Your power forward was Amari Stoudemire, which means what you didn't accomplish, he didn't accomplish. And the three of us, we can't even say anything was all smart Amari Stoudemire did in college. So what gets him in the Hall of Fame exactly? That's what we want to know. What exactly got him in the Hall of Fame? The three ladies? There's no crumbs whatsoever. I wish somebody would try to say something about one of the three ladies that shouldn't be a Hall of Fame. I'll join cool in slapping y'all.
Damn.
So I'm just trying to figure out what is the criteria of being a Hall of Famer? Because if somebody was to ask me, playmaker, if there was one word that you would put for Hall of Fame, what would it be? You know what word I would choose? It makes it very easy for people to understand. Legendary.
Well, I mean, Stoudemire could be considered legendary. He did win a bronze in the 2004 Olympics.
And Mike D'Antoni was a legendary loser in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. 0 for the finals. And I don't mean winning championships. I mean getting there.
So there's that.
The three of us already know. Candace Parker, nothing but legendary.
Oh, hands down, she deserves that honor.
If y'all try to say something about Elena Delle Donne, y'all might not have been paying attention to her WNBA career.
Yeah, that chick was smooth.
And you had a nerve to speak any ill will out of your mouth about one Shamika Holster at women's college or WNBA basketball.
Yeah.
Get thee away.
You know nothing about the sport.
Get thee away. Go find something you know about. It ain't this.
Yeah, one of the greatest players out of Tennessee for sure.
And for those of you youngins who are looking at who is Coach Joey Crawford, that's like the most recognizable ref in all of basketball.
Yeah. He don't used to wear them tight shirts and want to flex his little muscles.
Now you could question Mark Few. He's not legendary. Well, that's because you probably came into the later part of Gonzaga, because for the three of us, we knew when Gonzaga was just down there with the other mid-majors. And Mark Few brought that program
he been
to where
like
it's
15
at today.
years?
25. So you want to know the name Gonzaga Bulldogs in basketball is one for Mark Few. Doc Rivers
got the eyes, a little bit of money. Be gone.
Pretty much what Kuz said, that Boston run probably pretty much got him in.
Yeah, it was the 2008 season, and he probably got a little bit of a shine in getting the 2010 Celtics to a Game 7. But yeah.
And
but he knew how to blow 3-1 leads though.
Don't remind me. And those of you running about the 1996 women's team, well, if you've been paying attention to the Olympics, that's the team that started it off on the women's side. It started with that team.
That whole team should be up
and they
there.
have never lost.
It was more than 8 people on the team. Woman, everybody should be up there. I don't care if you didn't play on the team, just for being part of the team, you should be up there. You could have had Christian.
So you want to know how So if you want to know the start of the women's dominance over the entire world took place, that's the team you look at right there.
Got Cheryl Miller surrounded by the other best talent. Ooh.
So this is your Hall of Fame class right here.
Amari Stoudemire, Mike D'Antoni. Wow.
Doc Rivers with it tattooed on hair.
That's how we begin our professional talk, because now we just go right to the WNBA, shall we? Well, Mr. Johnson, we got a deal, and all of a sudden the WNBA decided now we can get back into the sporting headlines.
Mm-hmm.
So, the expansion draft took place on Friday. Those of you who watched my video Friday, you already know what I thought. So, Mr. McCain, I'm start with you first. Any thoughts on what happened in the expansion draft between Portland and Toronto?
You covered a lot of what I was thinking in your videos. I want to be the guy to kind of be going back over what you said. I do like Chloe Bibby in Portland. Sarah Ashley Parker. Nyara Sabali. What's her name? Mayberry, the one that was from Connecticut. I liked her too, like you talked about in your video.
That was my most surprising pick.
What I think Portland and Toronto did was they said, we're not going to go after the big name players. We're going to go after a group of ladies that we think we can put together and try to do something when we hit the ground running. And I like that because it's unique, and I think it can work in the WNBA. And let's be honest, Toronto tempo, can't go wrong with that. Switch up the tempo.
Mr. Johnson, the WNBA expansion.
What about it?
Oh, wow, I'm not surprised I got that response.
Look, I'll put you like this. The teams were smart to not put the big time players on the market for them to be drafted up. They were smart to do that. Now we're gonna get a chance to see how the widening pool of talent that we have witnessed in the college ranks, how that's going to translate to the pros now, because it behooves a woman player to build something special now, because you got more opportunities to land on a team. And if that's possible, and it's possible that you have Portland and Toronto this year, and later you're going to have Detroit, Philly, and
Cleveland.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So you have them coming, and then of course you have the switch, or the proposed switch, for the Sun to turn back into the Comets again.
I like that.
I do too. You're gonna have more opportunities now. So these ladies are gonna have to step it up, and how these women play this year is going to determine the next expansion draft they do have as to the wealth of talent that probably will be available or not available.
The next expansion draft needs to include the Charlotte Sting. Thank you very much.
And I agree.
Want to throw that out there.
All right, that's the expansion draft. Again, you can go ahead and listen to my thoughts from Friday. It's up on YouTube. Moving forward, here's some news and notes, gentlemen. Mr. Johnson, would you take it away?
So you have probably the easiest part of this news. A'ja Wilson, she's committing to re-signing with the Aces. That should be a shot. She is the best player in the game today, and she gets a chance to show her wares some more. And congrats to you getting your back blown out by Bam Margera, by Bam Adebayo. Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu. This makes a playmaker happy. They both re-sign with the Liberty, so they want to challenge the Aces, and I hope if Liberty gets a chance to do so. These two are good players. We shall see if they still have enough to usurp the Aces as the top dogs in the current WNBA. Now, with the free agency period, which it should have taken place earlier, but unfortunately the WNBA and the Players Union decided to drag out the CBA until later last month. The designation period now is going to be today and tomorrow, or Monday and Tuesday. The negotiations will take place Wednesday through Friday, or the 8th through the 10th of April. And the signings will take place on the 11th, which that is on a Saturday. Now, you have the WNBA draft. That's going to be next Monday, or the 13th. Training camp will start the following Sunday. That's April 19th, or as the three of us know, to be day number 2 of WrestleMania. But we shall talk about that at another time. Preseason will start April 25th. It will extend itself to May the 3rd, when the season begins May the 8th, right before Mother's Day.
And breaking news that took place this morning, and I do know that my good brother, Mr. McCain, had to be happy to see this, because the Chicago Sky traded Angel Reese to the Atlanta Dream. In return, the Sky get the 2027 and the 2028 first round picks. So, Mr. McCain,
And Atlanta,
the floor.
And Atlanta also gets the right to swap 2028 second round picks with the Sky. I love bringing in someone who can slide right in at the 4 and rebound, hustle, be a presence off the court, sell shoes. Honestly, I was thinking when she came in about, I feel like I was being greedy. I was like, she'd be perfect in Atlanta. But I do have a tendency, it's my team, to want everybody. So I just, kind of pushed it to the side. I think it's a great move. She's not going to require a lot of shots. She's going to play defense. She's going to hustle. She's going to rebound. She will develop, a mid-range shot. She'll get better looks in Atlanta because you got Ryan Howard there. You got Alicia Gray. We got some young bigs. There's a lot of people there to be around her. So you won't be able to maul her and ride her back and ride her to the ground and stop her from rebounding. And it's going to do big things for the team in the city. And for 2 first-round picks, I think Atlanta might have overpaid just a bit. But if you really wanted to, you're like, you know what, we'll go ahead and pay. Because we got a lot of young players anyway. So we'll go ahead and pay.
Mr. Johnson, it took 2 years for the Sky to say no mas.
Yeah, and I think Ms. Reese It's hating the fact it took that long for her to get out of that situation with the Sky because they had no clue as to what to do with her. Now, I 100% agree with Cool. I think she's landing herself in the best situation where she does not need to have the pressure of being the number one offensive option. That she can actually do what she does best, which is rebound, give you defensive pressure on the other end, and she will have the time. And I love what Cool said too, having the time to develop a go-to shot that doesn't involve a three, but a go-to shot where you just know when she takes a shot, it's an automatic bucket. But the skill set that she has is perfect for the Dream. And on top of it, I think Atlanta is perfect for her.
Now, for you Angel Reese haters out there, or people who don't read the full report, just look at the freaking headlines, let me tell you this now. She did not demand this. This was all the Chicago Sky doing. She didn't ask for a trade. She was just fine in Chicago. But what the Chicago Sky did, they asked Angel Reese, where would you like to go? Because we want to trade you. She said Atlanta. The Sky made it happen. So don't anybody come out there talking about she wanted out in Chicago. She did not demand this. She didn't ask for this.
She could be pulling Giannis though. He ain't asked, but he won out.
But I know how people are when it comes to injuries, so I want to make sure we clear this up before they decide to talk out of their mouths. You know, I'm gonna smack them.
You want to borrow some baby powder?
You can give me baby powder, baby. I don't care. You can give me whatever.
Don't say the baby O word, please.
My bad. But I will say this though, since y'all traded Angel Reese, can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all trade Haley Van Lith too? Because y'all gonna keep her in that situation? Because you ain't know how to use her.
Maybe it's not acting.
The Sky, man. The Sky. The Sky, bro. I don't know. But now that we got that, Mr. Johnson, you did say the WNBA draft is when?
It is next Monday or April the 13th.
So next Monday, which means the draft episode won't happen until after we do our show, which means we won't be able to talk about what took place until the following week. But I did a favor. Here's the order of the first round of the WNBA draft. Obviously, we know that Dallas Wings got the number one pick.
Okay, so the most insignificant team has the number one pick. Okay, that's good to know.
After you've been clamoring and happy for like months when that happened, and then you just gonna act like it don't matter all of a sudden.
I said the most insignificant team has the pick. Now,
do you realize how valuable that pick is with this draft class?
They had the same draft pick last year.
Well, that draft class don't compare to this draft class.
They were the number one draft. They had the number one overall last year.
And you know what's crazy about this trade too? It's the fact that Atlanta got to kept their first round draft pick for this year. Atlanta got to keep their first round draft pick this year.
Yeah. And the reason is going to be better than what they could have got at 13.
So to me, Chicago is less melon this year in, and it's like we'll figure it out next year. Is that what we're doing? But however, the unusual thing that usually doesn't happen in upcoming draft is Mr. Johnson. Who's the number 2 team that's picking?
That'll be the Minnesota Lynx. For those who don't know, the last WNBA season, they had the best record in the game.
And they had the number 2 pick. You know how frightening that is.
It's almost reminiscent of when the Celtics in 1986 won the NBA championship, but they had the number 2 pick in that draft.
Seattle number 3, Washington, one of 3 first-round picks at number 4. Mr. McCain, how worried should we be about the Washington misses going into this season?
I don't think we should be that worried. This year, they have another good year, get some good draft picks, bring the right people. Next year, we might need to be worried because you'll be able to keep your core under this new collective bargaining agreement. You can't keep everybody to keep your core players together.
Washington is building something.
Yep.
They're not
there yet, but they are building.
So cool say I can get another year of freedom for right now. Because Washington's coming. Chicago got the 5th pick. I have no idea what they're going to do with that 5th pick now. Toronto Tempo 6th, Portland Fire 7, Golden State Valkyries 8th, Washington at 9, Indiana at 10, Washington again at 11. The Connecticut Suns in their final year in Connecticut as 12. Kuma Kane's Atlanta Dream 13, Seattle Storm 14, and then the Connecticut Sun 15. We can talk more. We can preview more about the WNBA draft next week before then. So let's go right to the NBA, shall we? And Mr. Johnson, we got some news and notes for the people.
All right, so we're going to start with the Pistons. They are the number 1 seed in the East. Good job with them. They almost, if I'm not mistaken, I think they led from start to finish in the conference. They started off hotter than fish grease and coasted to that top seed.
Shout out to Mark Jones.
Mm-hmm. The play-in tournament, it starts on the 14th, which is next Tuesday, and it goes to next Friday, the 17th. The NBA playoffs, it starts not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Oh, and the most insignificant piece of news, the Lakers, they lost two players.
Insignificant?
I mean, they lost the buster, Austin Reaves, and the clown that can't play any defense, Luka Dončić.
Before I ask my question to Mr. McCain, who is a Denver Nuggets fan and is part of the Western Conference, let's look at the standings, shall we? As you can see here, we already talked about OKC and San Antonio last week. The Lakers have won the Pacific Division, which means they are in the actual playoffs themselves, along with Kuma Kings Nuggets and Cole Johnson Houston Rockets are actually in the playoffs.
Qualify the playoffs.
The play belongs to the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Warriors, with the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Phoenix Suns fighting for that last playoff spot in the final play-in spot. That should be interesting, but with that kind of lead, I think Minnesota is safely going to get that 6th spot, which means Phoenix Suns most likely will be in the play-in with the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Warriors. That's on the west side. Mr. McCain, with the injuries to the Lakers, can your Nuggets or anybody behind the Lakers catch them on the 3 seed? I believe you're muted, sir. Yeah, you muted. We can't hear you.
Thank you, sir. So, yes, the Lakers can be caught. It wouldn't be hard to catch them. You got the whole Luka with one healthy hammy, supposedly one healthy hammy. He out for the rest of the regular season. Austin Reaves is out. But this doesn't take too much time to talk about it. I want to talk to the gobulations for the Lakers when they picked up Luka Dončić. Remember the reasons that Dallas did not want them? Remember the reasons Dallas didn't want him and they let him shoot his load in the Lakers' mouth? Remember that?
Supposedly he was going to cost too much money, and he couldn't play defense, and he was
injury
too fat.
prone. no defense,
Injury
And he wanted
prone, no
max.
defense, and doesn't get in shape.
he wanted a max, and he wanted a max deal to come to camp fat every year, out of shape. So Dallas said, "Nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to trade you, get assets for you." Of course, one of those turned into Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag has had some battles with him, but the boy is only supposed to be a freshman this year. He reclassified a year so he can get in front of Cam Boozer. That was the real reason why he did it. But anyway, reclassified. So now he's a he's a rookie in the NBA. Through his rookie year, he's looked every bit as good as Luka was his rookie year, maybe a little bit better. And he's not a true point guard. He's playing because Kyrie the Herbal Tea is doing what he does best. Soaking in a glass of hot water because he can't play. You have to look at these trades in a quick window.
To the East we go. As Coach Johnson said, the Detroit Pistons clinched the top seed in the East, so the road to the finals goes through Detroit. Boston, New York, and Cleveland are in the playoffs, which leads the Atlanta Hawks, the Philadelphia 76ers, Toronto Raptors, Charlotte Hornets, Orlando Magic, and Miami Heat to fight for the final two playoff spots, seeds 5 and 6, and everybody else would be in the play-in. Mr. Johnson, who would capture the final two playoff spots?
I get the feeling the Hornets will get one of those spots. Right now, I'm not sure. I just don't feel any of the other three really strong. But if I'm leaning in one direction, I probably would say the Heat, but I'm not really all that sure with any of those three, the Heat, the Magic, nor the Raptors. But I do think one of the two that's going to come out will be the Hornets.
So you saying Atlanta and Charlotte gets the 5 and the 6 spot?
Let's see with them. Yeah, I don't think the Hornets, well, definitely not the Magic. But I don't think the Hornets nor the Raptors will I don't think they'll be able to usurp the Sixers nor the Heat. No, I'm sorry, nor the Hawks. I'm sorry.
Atlanta, ever since y'all traded Trae Young, y'all have went on an upward trajectory. To the point where y'all gonna be a very scary first round matchup for anybody that you play against.
You can almost book the first round match being the Hawks and the Cavs.
That's not a good look for the Cavs.
And that's why I said that.
Whoa.
It's not a good look for the Cavs.
I'm gonna throw out there. Charlotte and Philadelphia is the two I think is gonna make it as the 5 and 6.
So you're saying Atlanta's gonna drop to the play-in?
That's what I'm saying. Player. Because remember, 2.5 games separate 8th and 5th. Well, 8th and yeah.
Them two teams from Florida. If I had the time,
that's a big difference.
If I had the time, them two teams in Florida, boy. If I had the time,
you flame them out real quick.
Oh, Cole would tell you this has been fuming for what, almost a month now.
About that long, yeah.
Pray to baby Jesus, 5 pounds, 6 ounces.
But every time I want to get to it, something other bigger happens, and I have to push that back and do the other one.
Just remember, 5 pounds, 6 ounces.
That team that's sitting in a certain spot right now and be like Medea and beat them down 2 more feet, but unfortunately they already clinched a postseason spot.
You can only bury them 6 feet.
I can't even do that. They already clinched the playoff spot, so they still above ground. But that time's coming. It's gonna come before this season ends in the NBA. I'm gonna come after y'all in time, but not today.
You got to do what time left, player.
When we come back, the moment that most people have been waiting for. What is it? You'll find out.
Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
All right, the moment y'all been waiting for. You see the graphic. It's the flagrant foul, and it's Geno Auriemma. Why is the flagrant foul Geno Auriemma if he was living on the rock? Because, well, one, Geno had this exchange at the end of the ass kicking that they took to South Carolina. So we're gonna start there, and Mr. Johnson, you get the first nod.
So we're dealing with a coach who has brought his program. For those who don't know, he is the long-term, long-tenured women's basketball head coach for the University of Connecticut, and he has brought his Lady Huskies to the dance. And when I mean the dance, I mean the Final Four, 25 consecutive years.
25 years, not consecutive. 25 years.
Okay, 25 years. I'm sorry, he didn't make it in 2000. But 25 out of 26 years. Anyway. He is a world-renowned coach. He's esteemed. He's highly regarded. He's highly respected. I mean, everybody and their mama wants to have their daughters play for this man. And so, of course, his crap doesn't stink. And he is, without a shadow of a doubt, the paragon of virtue when it comes to women's college basketball. But you see, I got a problem. This clown had the audacity, the nerve, and the unmitigated gall to act like some broom was stuck up his behind when in a national semifinal matchup Friday, when his Lady Huskies went up against Dawn Staley's Lady Gamecocks, and his team got the bejesus beaten out of them. It's as if Mr. Auriemma, who's supposed to represent all of this class, all of this elegance, all of this, I'm above all of the shenanigans of anything basketball because I believe in coaching and living the right way when it comes to basketball, acted like a petulant child all that game long.
Well, those of you who don't know what he's referring to, well, he's referring to the fourth quarter interview with Holly Rowe, and he had some strong things to say about one Dawn Staley and what she was saying to the ref and stuff like that. Which is something that we normally don't hear from Geno Auriemma doing coaches' interviews.
Why are you griping to the reporter about the refs and South Carolina getting all of the calls and UConn ain't, when just about every college can line up and say the same thing against your program, son?
Because he's a hope.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And then we get to the post game. Now, this is when you got your balls and your penis cut off, and a juice box was surgically inserted in between when you had that Holly Rowe interview and when you shook Dawn Staley's hand at the end of the game because you acted like an absolute puss. You acted like an absolute jackass. You got your butt whooped in that game, 62-48. You should have been a man. Walked to that woman, shook her hand, and said, you know what, Miss Staley, you coached a better game than me. Your girls are better than mine. Congratulations. Get that trophy. That's what you should have done, right? Because that's what she did with you when you played in the national championship game last year and you beat her by double digits. She was all class, said, congratulations, coach. You coach better than me. That's what Miss Staley did. But you, sir, decided to want to have an extra grind with her. And if I could not have gotten more pissed off at you for the lack of class that you showed a black woman, much less one of the stalwart figures of college basketball, much less one of the best coaches in college basketball, men's or women's, let alone one of the stalwart figures in basketball, even as a player. You had the absolute gall with that juice box surgically placed between your legs to say, quote, Dawn Staley didn't shake my hand in pregame, close quote. There's footage of you in the pregame when Miss Staley walks up to you, Mr. Auriemma, and what happens? She shook your hand, which means not only are you a petulant child, not only are you a newborn woman, but you lied. You lied to the public. You lied to the public. You decided to want to debase and to fame a legendary head coach. One of the figures that is going to be alongside your name as one of the best to ever do it in college women's basketball. And you get off scot-free with a BS apology, not mentioning Miss Staley's name because she was the one who deserved to have the apology have to be brought to her. But no.
You mean this apology?
Yes. But no, you do this, quote, there's no excuse for how I handled the end of the game versus South Carolina. It's unlike what I do and what our standard is here in Connecticut. I want to apologize to the staff and the team in South Carolina. It was uncalled for in how I reacted. The story should be how well South Carolina played, and I don't want my actions to detract from that. I've had a great relationship with their staff, and I sincerely want to apologize to them. Close quote. Son, all that's great. Quote, Miss Staley, you're one of the best coaches in college basketball. The way I handled that, I was an absolute ass, and I apologize for my actions. Close quote. That's what you'd have said there. But no, you little juice box ass couldn't do anything but just whine and whimper. Oh, you must have estrogen running through your veins too now. So when you had the newly inserted juice box, you had estrogen replace your testosterone because that was not a man thing. That was a punk move, son. Punk. You're too old of a man to be that big of a punk, and in front of a woman at that.
May I tag in?
Before you do, I just have this one sentence to say, Mr. Auriemma. For all of your greatness, for all of your majesty, for all of your magnificence. This is a blemish on your record because it shows that when things go well for you, you're good. But when things go bad for you, you're just like Donald Trump, a petulant, spoiled brat who wants to whine and kvetch and gripe his way to saying it's not right. It's all of you and not me. It's you. It's you, Auriemma. It's you. Look in that mirror and face the fact that you, son, don't cut the mustard. Now get that juice box inserted off of you and put back your penis, son. Go ahead, please.
25 Final Four appearances. I think it's what, 32 NCAA tournament appearances, 12 national championships. And, if people want to talk about Geno Auriemma in a positive light, you're kind of the reason why women's college basketball is the way it is, because everybody got sick and tired of you dominating everybody. So they had to step their game up. But then Friday happened. Remind you, almost a year ago, you and the Connecticut Huskies beat the brakes off of South Carolina down state in the national championship game. Down in Tampa, Florida, by the way. Y'all got to run around, just shoot threes left and right. There's just dropping. There was nothing Don State. There was no coaching move Don State could have done to change that game. Nothing. She shook your hand. She ran about her business. 1 year later, Cool McCain, I think you're going to like this part. So, when Cole has brought up the pregame, right? I went to found that video. And you know what I saw in that video? It's not only the fact that they shook hands. You know what I saw in that video? Don State wasn't looking for a chat. I said, oh, I see the problem. The problem wasn't that Don State didn't shake your hand pregame. The problem was she didn't want to chat with you because she was on a mission. She remembered what happened about 363 days ago. That very night that happened in Tampa when y'all smacked the hell out of them. She didn't want to have a conversation because she was on a mission. This is what she wanted to get back to. She wanted to get back at you for that ass whipping that you gave her. and she gave it to you. The Gamecocks gave it to the Huskies. They was more physical. They was more dominant. Oh, and by the way, you brought up one lie. Did you bring up the other lie, Cole?
No, you can bring up the other one.
You said you had a player jersey whipped and you believe somebody in South Carolina with the jersey. No, Sarah Strong whipped her own jersey. And it's footage of her ripping her own jersey out of frustration. You ain't put that in your apology, did you? For falsely accusing them of doing something they didn't do. That wasn't in your apology. Not at all. For a legendary coach as you, and you are a legendary coach, you sure already know how to handle ass whoopings like this. Because you know you took some, and you gave a lot of them out. You want to be mad at somebody? Be mad at yourself, because you're the reason why the game of women's basketball is where it is today. It had to elevate because of you, and it has elevated to a point where you have competition, stiff competition at that. Back then, the only person that could really stop you was Pat Summitt and the Tennessee Volunteers. And then you had the one time when Arika Gumawale and Notre Dame got you. Because that woman, she didn't want to be the nut at all. But now you have Don Staley. Who would know what happened when you went against Corey Coates and UCLA? Because the way that they was playing in the Final Four of the National Championship game, they was on about their own defense. Would you did the same thing with Vic Shaper and Cole Johnson's Texas Longhorns? You are not the cream of the crop of the NCAA anymore. So for you to act like this, it was very disheartening. Because there's a lot of us that have respect for you and what you did for the game of basketball. But for you to come out the down like that, that was pitiful. And even more pitiful was that apology that UConn made you do. Because I can tell by looking at apology, they ain't the apology that you wanted to say. That's UConn. And you know what makes you look very worse? Don Staley got her ass whipped last night. You know what she said in the post grade? I got it right here for you. Cole, you want to open it up for me?
Quote.
I can swallow, meaning the loss, because we lost to a really good human being and a good team that represents women's basketball well.
Close quote.
Cool. If you got anything, go ahead.
I just want to say, scumbags always show you who they really are. I do believe Geno Auriemma is a scumbag. He can take it. He can give it, but he can't take it. Humble and winning, a fool when he lose. I also want to say lying. It's definitely a John Shearer trait. Just remind me if I'm missing something. But did we ever see any video of this so-called person on his staff that got hit? Did we ever see any video of these things that he was claiming, Shire was claiming? And it's funny that both of these guys are doing things or did things to take the shine off of the opponent that whooped their ass. Instead of just acknowledge that we caught an L. Be just as grateful when you lose as you are when you win. And you too old for that. You about to see God soon. You need to get yourself together for real. That's all I got to say.
Cool McCain.
You thought you wanted Gunther against Chad Gable, but you didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. Chad Gable would take everything that Gunther's done and bury it.
The Playmaker.
It was on site. AJ Styles walked out there, seen LA like, oh, okay, then LA Knight hopped out the car, let's go.
Break down everything in TNA, AEW, and all of the WWE programming. Join these two kings, monarchs of wrestling, live every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central on the Play Caller Sports Talk YouTube channel.
Pretty much coming up after this, Cool McCain and myself continue our road to WrestleMania. Things getting a lot interesting, but we did have a standing takeover to stand and deliver. PLE.
We do also have a preview for TNA Rebellion and AEW Dynasty as well.
A lot going on in wrestling. Join us after Shooting Lights Out.
Then you got about 12 minutes to go grab you a snack, something to drink, pass by your urinals, the toilets, release any fluids you need to, and be ready for your boys. Well,
and to close out.
By the way, defend the crown, baby. I was able to go to first game of the season, but not my first Charlotte FC Football Club game. If you are not a soccer fan, it doesn't matter. You should go to a game. Your local soccer team should go. They are fun experiences.
Well, we got the World Cup coming up, so.
Well, World Cup game, but your local team games, because you get the kids, you get everybody that can come. They're doing reduced ticket prices in Charlotte for the rest of the season to try to fill everything up. But they'll get it back on you in merchandise and food anyway, so you're just moving the money around. You ain't really saving nothing.
It's one of the easiest games to follow too.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
but once you do know it, yeah, it becomes really a contagion of fun.
Yeah,
gentlemen, we have one final basketball game left of this season. There's the men's national championship game tonight. Michigan and UConn battled it out. 8:50 on TBS. That by itself can get you Cole Johnson go to a rent, but I think he's not going to do that.
It should be C instead of T, but go ahead.
The Wolverines are 6.5 favorite going into tonight. However, UConn is undefeated in this game. They are 6-0. Michigan, on the other hand, they don't do so well in this game. Only 1-6 in this game. Cool McCain, it is the men's national championship game.
Michigan, let's go.
And quick, simple, right to the point. Cool McCain rocking with the Wolverines. Mr. Cole Johnson, it is the final collegiate game of the season.
I want Michigan to win it. Unfortunately, I think Dan Hurley's going to have another trick up his sleeve, and I think they're going to take their third national championship in 4 years. And it sounds harsh to say.
One for Michigan, one for UConn. And by the way, if Dan Hurley does win this, he is the coach of his era. Three and 4 years. Crazy work. Crazy work. But Dusty May, you want people to put respect on your name? You beat UConn tonight, they have no choice. There won't be a choice because you smacked the brakes out of Arizona, who most people had picked as the national champion. You've been smacking everybody in this tournament. You know, they have an average margin of victory of 18 points. These games ain't close. Most people will say Michigan has the better talent, but UConn has the better coach. Can one outweigh the other? Is what we're going to find out tonight. And I think the talent of Michigan will get it done. I think they'll do something that should have been done a long time ago. And let's bring a title to Michigan. Michigan, UConn. Either way, it's going to be a storyline either way. The dominance of Michigan season or that Dan Hurley is the coach of the era. We'll find out tonight, 8:50 on TBS. And this will do it for this jam-packed episode of Shooting Lights Out. Oh, we went through all of this stuff in a very jam-packed show.
And yes, we did.
Kuma Kane said he wanted in on the action.
Thank you.
He got in the action.
All about the action, son.
For Cool McCain, Cole Johnson, and the playmaker down there, Sullivan. We'll see y'all next week to talk about NBA postseason, WNBA draft stuff, and any other headlines that want to come out now and then. For basketball, if you love wrestling, get ready to follow me and Cool over to Monitor Wrestling because we have a lot to talk about there too.
If you don't love wrestling, learn to love it. Come follow us over there.
Deuces.
You've done good. You've done great. But you can't stop here. You can't stop now. You gotta keep going. Through all your trials and your tribulations, you gotta keep pushing. Now, finish your canvas.
Yeah, gotta get it out the mud, that's the only way to win. Who am I to point the finger like I never ever seen? Been through the ups and downs like the letter